Right, guys, we're here. We're going to be reacting to some of Hamza's point. If you don't know who Hamza is, he's big in like the self-improvement space, and he popped off a few years ago with some stuff. This is a clip I found on YouTube by random just now, so I thought I'd react to it and give some input because I don't really agree with all the points he makes here. I think he's contradicting himself a bit, but let's take a look and you can see for yourself. And yeah, enjoy.
Recently, you've seen me talk about these deeper things, that the material successes won't actually give you a better life. Who's seen the research on that, by the way? Type 1 if you've seen the kind of research that like material success doesn't make you happy. You've seen the science of well-being. You've maybe seen the studies that show like, okay, once you make like 70k, it doesn't increase happiness and stuff. There's problems with those studies, I will admit. You know, you've heard this before, like money doesn't make people happy. It can be nice to have, because if your mother's working in some shit job, you having money to retire her's like gonna make you feel good, undeniably. And not having money will cause unhappiness in a lot of areas. But it isn't what it's cracked up to be.
Alright, so here Hamza makes the point that money isn't actually what it's supposed to be or kept up to be, because people think it's this magical thing to solve happiness or something. And that's why I always preach mindset comes before money, because you see all these crypto nerds and all these losers who suddenly get a big amount of money. They're skinny and all. They're going to use that money to try and solve their insecurities. But really, when it comes down to it, they have to fix their mindset first. How to be respectful. They have to create a beautiful body, a strong body before they get all this money. But they skip that part and just go straight to the money. And of course, that's going to be detrimental to you once you get that money. Let's hear what more he has to say.
I thought today that it's very interesting that Tate went very viral, giving such like a counterintuitive message. Like he's telling young men to free themselves from the matrix by making money, and acting as if like money and material success is not literally the fucking definition of the matrix. So it's very interesting. You want to escape the matrix, you don't follow Tate at all. You do the opposite of what he's doing. You stop giving a fuck about money. That's how you cure. That's how you get rid of the matrix.
Alright, so here Hamza says that Andrew Tate, because he's preached all this stuff about money and you have to make money to escape the matrix. Escaping the matrix, guys, it's just a mindset. If you're escaping the matrix through a 9 to 5, who gives a shit? It's all about it's just an awakening from the fact that you're in this life, you only have one chance, and why spend it doing something you're miserable on? Basically, that's it. And Andrew Tate popped off talking about all this money because it's very it's filled with arrogance and pretentiousness, the way he marketed his stuff, right? So that's the way he did it. But right now, if you watch what Andrew Tate is doing currently, he's more on the fact that you have to fix this before you go and get the money. You have to be strong, you have to fight. He's more on the masculinity stuff than the money thing. I really believe that. And so I wouldn't say that you should go like the opposite of Tate right now. I think you should go out there, become the best you can be, go fight, go train, and then you can make your money after.
I've got friends in Thailand telling you like, escape the West, escape the matrix. Imagine thinking that the travel industry isn't part of the matrix. You stop giving a fuck about wanting to like go travel and live that young person life.
It's funny that Hamza says this, that traveling to Thailand is somehow escaping the matrix. I mean, going here has been beautiful. I'm in Thailand right now. It's been really funny seeing how it's just another place. People doing people stuff. That's really what it is. If you go around thinking that the travel industry is part of the matrix and everything you do is part of the matrix, then that's the wrong approach completely. Because now you're starting to be borderline paranoid about doing anything because you can't do anything because you're doing matrix stuff. That's not what this is all about. That's not what any one of these guys preaches, I hope. That's not the way I look at it, at least. It's just perspective. Like, how are you going to get around if you can't go travel because it's part of the matrix, huh? Are you going to drive on the water to Thailand? Like, you're just going to sit at home and do nothing because everything you do is part of the matrix? That's not a way to look at it. I'm here in Thailand right now. I'm doing Muay Thai because I really, really, really wanted to do Muay Thai. That's what it's all about. It's just dumb thinking about stuff that, like, oh, it's part of the matrix, I can't do it. That's not the approach. That's not the way to go about it.
It's interesting because, like, you absolutely do. I won't tell you that you don't need money. I don't think it's necessarily a bad desire. It's what you're going to spend it on. And the issue is that most people, like, once they do start to make some money, they don't spend it on the right things. So when you don't have much money, it's like, okay, you pretty much have to spend it on the right things. It goes mostly to rent and everything. But it's interesting. I think we can all admit that even when you don't have much money, a fair amount of your money is still going to bullshit right now. Even when you don't have much, it's like you still have the hoodie that's $50, which you didn't need. You still have like the Apple earphones, which you didn't need. You still have like the newest computers and phones, and you got a nice pair of trainers. Bro, your trainers are more expensive than mine. Guarantee it. Guarantee, like, how many people we got on this call? 60? Guarantee 50 of the people in this call have got trainers more expensive than I've got. Because you're not using your money for freedom, I am. Guarantee, what, 20, 30 people in this call have got, almost everyone, like, has got rent more expensive than mine, because I don't have rent. Do you see how powerful you can become when, like, you still make money, you're still an entrepreneur, you're still a productive person, you're still working hard. The market's still going to pay you for the value you're giving, but you don't need the money, and so now you've got pure freedom. Do you see the difference? Or you can be a slave to the Bugatti. And the watches.
All right, I think Hamza actually makes a good point here. Spending our money on Yeezys and all these dumbass sneakers, like the Supreme stuff, like with the Supreme stuff here, that sounds dumb. The Balenciaga and all these brands, you're spending your money on that and that being your sole focus, I think that's a dumb idea. You know, I got this is actually a new one. I got this from like just a store down the street. Really cool. Sure, really like that. That's cool. But, you know, being like really like materialistic of like this small stuff, like getting the newest AirPods and stuff, I think that's a bad outlook. So I kind of agree with Hamza on this. But then again, when it comes to like his point on rent, the only reason he doesn't pay rent is because he's made millions of YouTube. So of course the rent is paying more in rent because this guy probably owns multiple houses across multiple countries. So, I mean, easy for him to say, I guess. No hate though for Hamza.
Because for these people, the issue is once they see someone who has this thing that's slightly better for them, Tate meets another super rich guy who's got a Bugatti, which is slightly more expensive because he got like, you know, some other businessman got like the rare one. Tate's still gonna feel bad about it. Iman's watches collections are super, super expensive. He meets someone whose watch is more expensive than his, he will feel somewhat insecure about it. They'll never say this out loud, but it is the truth. Of course it is. Because when you play that game and someone's got something more expensive than yours, then you automatically have to feel bad. It's just how the game works.
All right, so I think it's really wrong on this point because I don't think insecurity is a question at all. But I don't know Andrew, I don't know Iman when it comes to the watches and the Bugattis. I just know myself that, and I can use this example in the gym, right? If I see someone that's bigger than me, or more fit than me, or whatever, then I'm just like, wow, you're really strong. Congratulations. It's not insecurity, it's just like, wow, good job, man. Maybe one day I'll be able to do as much weight as you do, right? It's not insecurity, it's just like, that's really cool. Maybe I can do it. Maybe if I just work a little harder, I can actually do that too. You know, it's just the mindset of it. And I think that it doesn't have to be that way. It's not absolutely that way. If you see someone with something that is better than you, like let's take his Bugatti example for example. If Tate meets another guy with a Bugatti, like a sheikh, like in Dubai with $1 billion car or whatever, encrusted in diamond, the whole thing, you think Tate is gonna be like, oh shit, I need to get that now? No. He's like, wow, nice to meet you, brother. How did you do this? This is interesting. Really cool. You know, maybe one day I could do that too. That's cool. Interesting. Thank you for learning this. It's not insecurity at all. So, and I think Hamza knows this. I think it's just phrasing it wrong, to be honest.
So we've got a brilliant question there. How do you use money for freedom, education, and business? I've just realized today the single greatest thing that I think you can spend money on, or I mean, probably one of the top 10, is what we'll call feedback. Feedback from teachers. This is one of the highest ROIs in my opinion. ROI. So, who knows about the concept of deliberate practice? Or let's say of mastery, 10,000 hours to master a skill. Who's heard that before? Type 1.
Okay, so for the rest of the video, Hamza explains how the best money you could spend is teaching and like tutoring, with having a coach there live to help you. And I agree with it absolutely, because learning something in general is important. So I think courses and stuff, I think that's really good to spend your money on. I think also that tutoring stuff is really important, nice to spend your money on. For example, me learning French, I hired a tutor to help me learn French, and it's been absolutely great so far. And it was really important for me to learn French, like with a tutor as well, because using Duolingo didn't do it justice the work that I wanted to put in to learning that skill. So I think that this is a decent point again for how you should spend money, like to learn from people. It's kind of how like I am in Thailand learning Muay Thai. You know, I'm spending money to learn this skill, right? And it's giving me a lot of value to be able to learn how to fight, right? I enjoy it. I think that's it, guys, for this video. There's some points here that, you know, we have conflicting ideas on. I have nothing but respect for Hamza, of course. Probably a great guy. Who knows? I haven't met him. Would love to meet Hamza and just talk and, you know, drink a coffee or something. If you're watching this, Hamza, hit me up on the IG. Anyways, maybe some of Hamza's ideas stuck with you as good. Maybe some of my ideas stuck with you as good. Create your own reality. Take whatever ideas you find valuable and apply them to yourself. And yeah, subscribe, like, and comments. And I'll see you guys. Thank you. God bless.